The worst states to live in. What do you think are the worst states in the United States to live in? There have been a lot of surveys done. Some include states like Louisiana or Mississippi or California or Oklahoma, even Alabama. I live in Alabama. I don't think it's a worst state, but it gets in some of those categories. Arkansas, Alaska, West Virginia, New Mexico. It's really a matter of opinion. They have some data that they use, but the worst states to live in. I don't know about those particular states necessarily, but I do want to suggest some states that we don't need to live in. We don't need to live in the state of fear. Living in fear is not a good way to live. And the Bible teaches, Jesus said so many times, do not be afraid. We don't need to live in the state of doubt, wondering. That doesn't help our mental health, our physical health, our spiritual health. We don't need to live in the state of hate. It's easy sometimes when people do things, say things that, we can have really bad attitudes, but that's not a good state to live in. We don't need to live in a state of guilt. Yes, we all do things wrong, but Jesus died so our sins can be forgiven. And we need to change the things that are wrong in our life and not live in a state of guilt. A state of arrogance. We all know people that live in that state. Nobody likes that. Nobody enjoys that. We need to be humble. The good book says that if we humble ourselves in the sight of the Lord, He'll lift us up. We don't need to live in the state of loneliness. Sometimes people are lonely, and yet we have a spiritual family, we have friends, we have God, we have things that can help us to overcome loneliness. We don't need to live in the state of lukewarmness. Jesus condemned the church in Revelation chapter 3 because they were just kind of going through the motions and living in lukewarmness. I'm not sure which state in the United States would actually be the worst state to live in, but there's some states of life that we know we don't want to live in. If you're in one of those states, move.
I need thee, oh, I need thee. Every hour I need thee. Oh, bless me now, my Savior. I come.